So now we'll come to the third class of carbohydrate, that is oligosaccharides. Okay, so oligosaccharides, they are the polymer. Okay, they are polymer containing a small number, typically 2 to 10 component monosaccharides. Okay, 2 to 10 of component monosaccharides. So they are polymers containing a small number of monosaccharide units. And the oligosaccharides, they are derived from the Greek word oligos here, which means a few, and from word saccharide meaning sugar. Okay, these polysaccharides, they are generally not found naturally occurring sugars. They are, however, obtained as a product produced as hydrolysis products of polysaccharides. Okay, that is the long chain of monosaccharide units, the larger chains. Okay, and when two hydroxyl groups from two different monosaccharides, as you have seen in case of disaccharides, they combine, releasing a molecule of water in a condensation reaction, the bond form is referred to as glycosidic bond. Remember when you study the disaccharides, how the bond is formed when the two hydroxyl groups, they from two different monosaccharides, they combine, releasing a molecule of water in a condensation reaction. That bond form is referred to as the glycosidic bond. Now, normally the anomeric carbon of one of the monosaccharide may get linked, as you have seen, they may linked with either carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, or carbon 6. Okay, as we will see in this case how it is linked to the carbon 6. Now you have already seen in disaccharides where the anomeric carbon of one residue, monosaccharide residue, it linked with either carbon 2, 3, 4, or 6 of another monosaccharide unit. These bonds, glycosidic bonds, then they are referred to as 1,2, 1,3, 1,4, or 1,6 linkages. Okay, so what happened in the hydroxyl group of a monosaccharide, it may also react with an amine. Okay, it may also react with an amine, and that bond which is formed, and in this case also there will be a removal of water molecule. So the bond formed here is also referred to as the glycosidic bond. So that means there are two types of glycosidic bond form. Okay, there are two types of glycosidic bond, and those two types which are recognized are the N-glycosidic bond. Now, in case of N-glycosidic as well as O-glycosidic bond, in case of N-glycosidic bond, here the bond is formed between the amine group and the COH group. Okay, between those two monosaccharides, where we see in this case that the carbon is directly linked to nitrogen. Okay, it's directly linked to nitrogen, and this type of glycosidic bond is referred to as the N-glycosidic bond. Now, whereas the bond formed between the two COH group, between those two monosaccharides, where the two carbons, they are actually linked through oxygen, as you have seen in case of disaccharides, the two carbons, they are linked through the oxygen. Those type of bond are referred to as the O-glycosidic bond. Okay, so this is about the glycosidic bond. Now, strictly speaking, the disaccharides also, they come under this category of oligosaccharides. Okay, because on hydrolysis, the oligosaccharides, they form 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. Okay, they yield around 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. So disaccharides also, strictly speaking, they come under this group. And the chain with 3, 4 or 5 monosaccharides, they are termed as tri, tetra, penta and so on. Okay, and in general, molecules of up to 10 residues, they are referred to as oligosaccharides, whereas those with longer chain, which may be either branch or unbranched, when we study about these, okay, those longer chains, they are polysaccharides, okay, and they may be branched or unbranched. Now the very common vegetable oligosaccharide is fructooligosaccharides, FOS, fructooligosaccharides. These, they consist a chain of fructose units, okay, fructose monosaccharide units, whereas other naturally occurring oligosaccharides, they are galacto-oligosaccharides, which consists of short chains of galactose molecules. And these compounds, they can be only partially digested by humans. And the disaccharides, as you have studied about disaccharides, they are the most common oligosaccharides found in nature. And also there are few trisaccharides occurring as natural sugars, and among those trisaccharides, here the one I have shown here is raffinose. Okay, raffinose is most commonly found in many plants, and it is found in plants such as beans, cabbage and broccoli, and it has a galactose, glucose and fructose residues in its structure. Okay, thus here the glucose, if you see, the glucose and the fructose, they are linked as in case of sucrose, if you remember sucrose. So the way these two are linked is just as in the case of sucrose. Okay, so here the anomeric carbon of D-galactose is linked to carbon 6. Okay, here you can see this is carbon number 6 of sucrose. You can see, okay, carbon number 6 of glucose in sucrose molecule. So galactose is linked to sucrose with through carbon number 6 of glucose molecule. Now this sugar raffinose, it cannot be digested by human beings. The bacteria which are present in the large intestine, they ferment it, producing gas. So besides raffinose, the oligosaccharide with 4, this one is a trisaccharide, okay, and the oligosaccharide with 4 monosaccharide residues, they are called tetrasaccharide. Alright, they are referred to as tetrasaccharide, and one of the example, the most common tetrasaccharide is stachyose. This stachyose, it is present in green beans, soybeans and other vegetables. It is a less sweet, that is about 28% of sucrose, and it is a good replacement for sugars. Since it is not completely digested by human, this stachyose also, it has a very low calorific value. And here actually the stachyose, in stachyose there is one more galactose here, because it is a trisaccharide. The galactose is linked to, you can see it is linked to the carbon number 6 again of raffinose. Okay, another galactose residue is linked to raffinose. You can see this is the structure of raffinose. It is similar to the structure of raffinose. So in case of stachyose, we have one more galactose. So here you can see it does has a galactose, glucose and fructose in sequence. Okay, so these are a few examples of oligosaccharides. Now in my next video, I will explain on the next important class, that is polysaccharides. disaccharides.